Hello, welcome to the Earth Signs. I was not paying attention to the time. It was a few minutes. So thank you for hanging out. And I'm going to do Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn for you. We're looking at June, so I will look at what the current energy is. I did look at a couple days that might be the best days of the month for you, or I think around the 9th, I think, for you guys. So I will note that. But let's start with Taurus and see what the energy is. Hello, everybody that's here. Thank you. Taurus, I have my Earth here. All right, Taurus. So I'm going to get an overall energy for the month for you. And we're going to look at, you did just wrap up your birthday season. So this is sort of, I don't know, the morning after, the day after, what's that movie? It's like it all just happens. So now it's like waking up and, what's going on next? What's happening next? So let's see. Kind of got something started. So maybe some of the things that you were starting during your birthday season are still kind of grooving. Think of Two of Pentacles. You're just kind of making it happen. You're working it. You're moving. Some things still seem like they haven't changed, but have they? And, they're just, kind of subtle. And yet maybe some things are showing up and some things are, it's like you can just touch it and then it goes away a little bit. It's like a tease, it just feels. And you don't know sometimes maybe, how do I feel about this? Is this going to be consistent? Because remember, you're being challenged. You have been being challenged with being able to not get so frustrated when things don't stay consistent for you. You can't have a peaceful, good day every day. We got to ride the waves, but we have to learn how to find consistency internally. And that's been one of your biggest challenges, I think. Alignment, it's coming together in precision. So basically everything I was just saying to you guys. So the month of June seems to be a very good month. All right, the vibe here, it looks like you're in a good vibe. It looks like more things are coming together for you than maybe you realize. Maybe you do realize it, but it's all coming together perfectly. All right, so we're looking at what you're building, if things are real practical in your life, if you're working, doing the thing, you're talking to somebody, it's like Mars is in your sign right now too. So you're still very magnetic and have a lot of energy to use. I'm sure some of you might be like, I don't really feel it, because sometimes that energy can be heavy or feel tiresome too. But that's where this card of alignment is saying things are still coming together. So just give yourself a little bit of a break here. Don't beat yourself up. Don't try and force things when they don't need to be forced, because think of the Two of Pentacles. It says the opportunity's already started. You've already made some investment. You've already, had the thought. You really started working on something. And I do feel like during June, though, you're going to see that maybe it'll start lightening up for you. We're already 2 days in, so if you have been dealing with any heaviness, because when you have the card of alignment, it can say that you have to go through some moments of being uncomfortable. All right. And so if God's trying to put you on your path, he's going to rip out, or he's going to move and dissolve things in your life that do not need to be there. And that is going to be the uncomfortable truths. That's going to feel uncomfortable. But that's the part that some of you probably have already realized. And the alignment part is when the heaviness is lightening up, you can breathe, and you're seeing that the opportunities were always there or were starting to show up, but maybe you couldn't see them. So let's take a look at what's shifting right now for you. And then I'll pull a card for love, life, career, and good moments coming in for you this month. All right, Taurus. Taurus, I had a dream last night, this morning, because I had to get up super early this morning. And there was a bull in my dream. And I had a dream of a bull a long time ago during a healing session. And so my spirit animal right now, obviously today, is a bull. And you were clearly, there's a huge bull in my dream last night. I got the Chariot card here. So the beneath the surface, this is what's driving the car right now. Spirit's driving the car, overcoming obstacles, moving forward. The Chariot, hell yeah, let's go. All right. So there's a window here. There's a moment here. There's movement here. There's lucky energy, something good that you're headed towards, right? And this is willpower, and this is not giving up. So, don't give up, push through, get yourself up and going, right? Because I am seeing here that the obstacles are starting to clear up, and you have Spirit helping you throughout this month towards achieving your goals. So there could be some huge victory, being seen, being noticed, your reputation, getting seen by the outside world, wherever you're at, wherever you work, or having some victory in a relationship and just feeling like, all right, we're both on the same page. Because this Chariot, it looks like the horses or the llamas or whatever they are, right, are facing in the same direction, and it doesn't look like they're trying to bump heads or challenge each other here. So if you've had some discomfort in relationships, it looks like maybe you guys will work things out, or things will seem more steady this month. So you, Taurus, the Page of Pentacles, I love this card for you, all right? Because it feels like, all right, I got this, it's new. There could be some new starts this month. Maybe you did just start a new job. Maybe you did start a new relationship. Maybe you're talking to somebody again, and it's slow start, but it's starting, all right? Maybe you're starting to understand a new perspective of a situation that you're dealing with. Maybe you're having a conversation with somebody, because this is a conversation. This is a text, a talk, all right? Somebody who's coming around, sincere, somebody who wants to open up, somebody who wants to learn, somebody maybe wants to participate in something that you're doing, right? It's opportunities, and it's more opportunities coming your way. But this is where we are either compromising or figuring out a new direction. So something that you've been working on is asking you to try a new way, try something you haven't tried before. And if you're in a partnership, this is saying, start with the small stuff. Can we not tackle the big problems? Do we have to go from 0 to 100? When something happens, here we go again. Look at, they're backing up again. They're pulling back, or there's this dilemma and we got to make a mountain out of a molehill. It doesn't have to be that way with the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is saying, start small. All right. It's the small stuff, make it small. If it's a new relationship, keep it small, just do the little things. If it's a reconciliation this month, you just start with the little things that make you happy. Don't go into the big problems. Don't start talking about what happened or how we're going to solve every problem that there is. Let's just enjoy the day. This can also show here that you really don't have to chase what you're looking for this month. You don't have to overly exert yourself this month. It's just taking small steps to whatever it is you're working on. So even if it's you're tackling a huge project, this is just saying you'll get there. All right. This is where the turtle does win the race. All right. So breathe a little bit. All right. So let's see with love, particularly Ace of Swords. So there is a lot around communication when it comes to love. And June 9th. Why did I see June 9th? Is the moon goes into Aries at that time. All right. The moon and Neptune are conjunct that day, and Venus and Jupiter. That's what it was. This could be a really lucky day. Maybe you will hear from somebody June 9th or around June 9th. All right. And this is where we're getting clarity and we're confronting. Now, here's the conversation that I was talking about when it comes to love in June. All right. We don't have to go down the list and talk or discuss and hammer something in and, overly do something. It is saying start small, start fresh. If somebody comes back into your life, start small, start fresh. I don't know, talking about the things that you share, the things you know together, the things you absolutely understand about each other, and working upon the things that make you guys happy, rather than discussing problems so that you revisit them constantly. All right, there's a fresh start happening when we see love. You may meet somebody may initiate, somebody may text, right? Somebody may circle back around. In these kind of readings, it can be anybody, but it is saying the spark's happening. All right, but it's just asking you to show up and don't overthink it. All right, try to clear away the fog, or the resentment, or all the questions you want answered, and take one thing at a time. So let's see. Life and career. Ooh, the Tower card. So there's a lot of uncertainty still here when we're getting to life and career. Things are still changing. And earlier when I said the Tower card, right, it feels like some of you, if you are resisting change in your life, this is where this energy could still kind of feel like a challenge to you. But the Page of Pentacles is telling you that God has spoken. God is trying to shift things up, all right? There could be conversations around a job, conversations around money, but you see a new job available, new opportunity available. So if you are going through a Tower moment right now and you're feeling uncertain about your stability, you're constantly, and that's something, Taurus, you do anyways. Like, you worry about your money, your resources, your home, your life, and you just feel like everything is crumbling down. And it feels to me like something new is trying to come into your life around money and your stability. So maybe you are moving. Some of you could be, all right, maybe I do have to move. Maybe you know it's coming. Maybe you're trying to resist, a change in a job, or a change in your way you spend your money. But it's something you already know and you sense it, or it's been happening, that's going on. So this can be something that really changes your life and your career in a new direction. All right. And also, this is bringing out the truth. So if somebody or something is not working for you when it comes to your money and your career and your home life, it's going to be shown to you. You will see it clearly, what needs to leave your life. All right. And so some of you, I feel like you already know what this is. So the good moments coming in your life, I already did say maybe the June 9th is your lucky day. And I see the 10 of Cups. So there's some good moments coming around family for you, getting together with family, a relationship, pulling through. Now remember, your ultimate card was the Chariot card. So it's showing here any obstacles that you're having with feeling valued, or feeling like, cared for, supported. You may have struggles with family dynamics, friend dynamics. Family extends to your community. Home, I'm seeing here a lot of. It does show that there's more peace and a blessing coming in when it comes to feeling supported and getting together with family. So you may find that June brings out more times to celebrate or hang out, or you're being shown the love, I guess is a way to put it. This could be success in the workplace as well too. But if you are rebuilding from a recent Tower moment, or you're going through the Tower moment, it is saying here, small steps. Don't try to solve everything at once with this Tower, because it's hard to see the light when things are falling apart. All right. And if you got to watch out for being stubborn, because when things are trying to change, this is when you dig your heels in the ground and you don't want anything to change. But what this change is showing you here is it's bringing you in more happiness. So the change, whether it's going to be uncomfortable or it has been uncomfortable, is bringing you happiness. And maybe you just need to see it before you feel it. But here you're being asked to feel it and know it before you actually see it. Right? If money, this is life and career and money and stuff like that. If that's a problem too, you may be kind of looking at where you've been chaotic when it comes to money, where you've been to, overspending or not spending on areas. If things break down, if things fall apart, have you been not spending, not taking care of things? Because some things may finally crack, or some things may finally show up that you know you should have taken care of. So that's life in general. So that is what I'm seeing here. Life's not, life's going to maybe throw a couple little things at you here and there. But remember the Page of Pentacles and the Chariot card. Where there's a will, there's a way. One step at a time. All right. So any more good moments, anything else coming in for you? I see a King of Wands. So it looks like you have a very strong, influential person in your life. It could be a family member. It could be a new relationship, or somebody that you're already talking to, because I can see that here. And you can see it's a Leo energy and, Aries, Leo, Sag, but it does show me somebody who's also very strong, bold, confident, and can be strong-headed too. But it feels like you have a partner in crime here. And whoever you are connected with, it looks like you're strengthening your bond, and you guys are going to pull through whatever it is that you're trying to pull through. Now, if this is a new person coming into your life, remember, take it slowly. If you have a lot going on in your life, don't bring this chaos into a relationship. All right. Just know that this here is forming, and this person is still showing up in your life. And it could be that somebody could be leaving and somebody new trying to come into your life. Keep that in mind too. Anything else going on? I see the 9 of Wands. You will weather the storm. All right. It is showing me that whatever heaviness that you're going through, you might have a setback here when it comes to some of the areas in your life, right? But it is telling me that the heaviness will lift in June, and you will know you will have a new direction, but you also will make it through, and you will come out in victory. All right, so let's pull. If you are connected to a specific person, I am seeing Aries, Leo, Sag. I do see another earth sign, maybe younger. I do see a father and son, or parent and son, parent and child, however you want to look at it. So there could be stuff going on like that you're dealing with when it comes to family dynamics. And I'm seeing a Cancer energy. But let's get a oracle card for each zodiac. So I used these yesterday. Let me see. Do I want to use these again today? Let's see. Think about the person that's on your mind. All right. I'm lost in this uncertainty. There's the Tower card. Some of you feeling like you're just uncertain about a lot of directions. It looks like that's coming in for you with this energy I just read. Remember, it's all coming together. Even if it seems imperfect, it's coming together the way it's supposed to come together. All right. Aries, my love for you is endless. All right. So your love is going to pull you through. This attraction you have with Aries is going to pull through. The relationship is still forming. It looks like you guys will find your way out of the uncertainty. Taurus, let's rebuild what we've lost. I see a lot around home and family commitment and marriage. All right. So especially you're rebuilding what was lost. So if something has happened or something comes up between you and a relationship this month, and you and another Taurus, it's like this is where you're going to rebuild from what's real. All right. The bond is too strong, right? But you got to clear away the chaos, the crap that, we think is real, but not. Gemini, I'm choosing healing over hurt. So maybe Gemini is kind of taking a break, kind of going their own way. And maybe you are too. Maybe you both are deciding to give each other a little bit of a break right now and working on yourselves before you come together, if you come together. Cancer, I feel alone even when we're together. So Cancer has a lot of internal battles they're dealing with, all right? So if you feel alone when you went with them, if they feel alone with themselves, and you're just dealing with somebody that needs to heal and do a lot of work. Leo, let's nurture our love every step of the way. So Leo's in it to win it. All right. So if you're meeting a Leo this month, even a new Leo, all right, they want to take care of the relationship. They want it to work with you. Virgo, your spirit blooms anew each time life challenges you. So Virgo, pretty impressed with how resilient you are. And this relationship with you and a Virgo, if this relates to you, is very resilient. You guys will figure it out. All right. You guys will make it work. There's something about your light that shines, and it impresses them how easy you're able to pick yourself back up and move forward. All right. Beautiful energy. Libra, despite everything, I still believe in us. So you and Libra, still in it to win it. You might be dealing with a very challenging relationship with the Libra, but there's something about the two of you that you guys just keep coming together and you will make it work. Remember the Chariot card. All right. Scorpio, I question if I'm what you need. Scorpio questions everything, all right? That doesn't mean that the outcome, that this can't happen. Be happy they are questioning everything because they value you. So I also feel like this is going to pull you guys to a new level. Sagittarius, face what's hidden. Truth will set you free. So if you are dealing with a Sagittarius, there is that Tower energy. You got to take a look at what's really happening. You can't build things off of potential or possibilities, and you can't hide your feelings. Once you get whatever it is out in the open and you're honest, it looks like you guys could rebuild something, even if it starts from friendship. Capricorn, your love has changed my life. So you really mean a lot to a Capricorn. And there's something about you that brings stability to the Capricorn and brings new faith and hope. So you and a Capricorn building upon your relationship, and it's just strengthening. Aquarius, respect, all right? It looks like there's a respect issue when it comes to Aquarius. So one of you, especially Aquarius, maybe they need to learn to respect themselves in order to respect you. But there's something about honor and respect of each other in order to strengthen this connection. And Pisces, together we are unbreakable. So you and Pisces also pulling through the storm, and maybe even meeting a Pisces where it just feels like you guys are a breath of fresh air for each other. I love you guys. That was my Taurus. All right, let me write down the timestamp. 22 for Virgo. All right, Virgo. Let me get a good clear. All right. Ooh, the volcano. What's this all about? Relationships. All right, let me get a shuffle. I want to start at 22. Virgo, you have the volcano. All right, the volcano is about to erupt when it comes to relationships. Time to express and don't wait any longer. All right, the volcano, you got to say what you have to say. You're center stage here. This is about you. This is about breaking out of a pattern, breaking out of a situation. This is about telling somebody how you feel. All right, this is you lighten up, expressing yourself, not holding back. And so if it's a new relationship, you want to talk about something, you want to tell somebody something, I'm saying don't hold back. All right. And this is around everybody. This is around your friends, your community, your love, your relationship. This is when Virgo shakes shit up and just says it, gets straight to the point and calls things out. And sometimes people have to hear it, have to know how you really feel. Even if it doesn't sound perfect, you don't have to script it. You just have to say it. All right. So this month, something could really be coming up when it comes to your love life and career. So let's take a look. The overall energy, the Emperor card. What a perfect energy for what I just said. So you're in charge. All right. You're being pulled to step up, the Fool card, and with no excuses, no expectations, no being perfect, just going for it, no filter. Even if you slip, your heart's going to, know where you're at. People are going to know where you're at. All right. This is building something. This guy's so grumpy, right? But this tells me too that something's been weighing on you, and it's just going to make you angry and resentful or disappointed if you let something pass you by. This isn't about being soft right now. This is about being assertive. This is about being confident. This is about taking charge. And this is about grinding too. So for some of you, you might need to move when it comes to work, when it comes to organization, when it comes to playing your cards right, when it comes to positioning yourself in relationships. You know, some of you may be holding back and playing submissive, not this time, not this month. You know, you got to zoom out with this guy and take a look at what's the bigger picture? What's going on here? What am I doing? What are you doing? You know, delegating here, not taking on everything, but, you know, being very expressive and getting this show started, building something. A lot of you could be trying to start a new relationship. You might be the one that's really leading the way. A lot of you in your friendships and your career, this is you stepping up and being, you know, showing the way. All right, through action, not talking. You know, you can talk all you want, but this is you doing. This is you thinking bigger than all the little teeny things and looking at your future and saying, what am I building? And what do I need to change? And, you know, not compromising. This guy ain't compromising anymore. All right. So let's see you. I see the 5 of Swords. So you've really been sweating something and trying to fix everything yourself, trying to talk yourself into everything, trying to understand everyone, you know, trying to make sense of all the uncertainty around you. You may have a lot going on in your mind. You may have questions that don't feel answered. Some of you may feel like you're overly explaining yourself to somebody. This is when you say it one and done. I'm done. All right. So if a lot of you are feeling some stress when it comes to communicating with other people, this is the month people will actually get you because you have the Emperor energy and the Fool energy. You have a lot of Aries energy showing up for you, which is saying blunt, go for it, do it, initiate. But your heart is there. So people are going to know that you mean business, and they're not going to be, if they're offended or upset, especially with the heart and spirit that you're bringing to the table, then they're not your right people. Because people love when I get pissed off, and people love when I finally express myself, because I try to play cool so many times and keep everything chill and reserved and calculated. And so when I let loose and finally say what I got to say, people are like, damn, go for it. They love seeing the beast come out. And that's where sometimes like this, like you can't solve everything by compromising with everybody. Say the thing you need to say, not just to compromise or make somebody else feel better. And if somebody tries to one-up you, and somebody is constantly confusing you, and somebody is just like you're over-explaining yourself to somebody, they got it the first time. And this month, if they're not getting it, this is where the volcano comes in. All right. This is where you're going to be pulled with this Emperor energy to be like, you know what? This is how it's got to be, because when Virgo, you're on a mission, you're on a mission, and there's just like no getting in your way either. All right. So I do believe that the energy will turn out better than you think, especially with the Emperor card. But your relationships will get stronger if you clear up this 5 of Swords energy. You know, quit, okay, I'll deal with it again, or quit making excuses for somebody's attitude. Or if somebody's giving you mixed signals, call them out. Call them out on their bullshit. This is you get your get out of jail free card, and you get your bullshit call out month. All right. Lighten up. It's Gemini season 2, Mercury ruled, Cancer's in Mercury. And so you're coming from a heart space, and it feels like the right people in your life are going to get you. All right. You know, just don't go to jail. I always say that. Just don't go to jail. So what's happening when it comes to love? I see the 4 of Cups. So it does feel like you're holding something back. All right. You may be in love. You may be, you know, missing something. You feel like you're missing something, right? And some of you may find yourself, you know, feeling stuck, or you might even find moments where you're unhappy or getting bored or feeling stagnant in a relationship. Now, I'm going to say 2 things, because 2 things just popped in. All right. 1, your relationship might be really good and really healthy, but You need to be the one to express what you need and the passion you need. You need to be the one to assert yourself, not wait for your person to make you happy. You might find moments where you feel bored and you really just like, why am I here? You know, is this really what I want? And we're all looking for instant gratification, and we all want these big bang relationships, and we all want this, you know, you got to be on and it's got to be exciting. And so there might be moments of stagnation in your relationship, which is, to me, feels like probably healthy, but it could really confuse you at times. So if there's something you want in a relationship when it comes to love and you're not getting it, you've got to ask for it, you got to do it, and you'll get it. If you don't get it, the volcano is almost like a tower too, where it's like you just will never get it from this person. And that's the hard truth. But if they're meant to be there and they're for you, you may make somebody uncomfortable by pushing their buttons a little bit, but you will get out of this energy of the Four of Cups and not feel so bored. I need this in my life. What is it that you want in your relationship? What, more spice? Get it. Go for it. This is where, you know, you can become, you know, very much stagnant yourself when it comes to love, and deal with routine as well. And it's going to get to you this month, I feel like. Right? So real talk around what we need to improve, because you may start to feel dull, or a relationship going dull. All right, we're friends, we're good. So remember, your relationship, if it's love, you're friends, we can handle this, we can handle each other's attitude, we can handle when you call somebody out for being stagnant. We need to do something exciting. All right, so what else in love? Because it looks like you do possibly have somebody coming in love. You have the Queen of Cups showing up for you, which is giving me the energy I just said. You could have a water sign around you. You could meet somebody through somebody, because I am seeing a person show up around you. But this to me really feels like this is a month challenging you to express your true feelings with the people that you're with already. So there, obviously, I'm connecting with Virgos that are talking to somebody. You really feel like, you know, you want to be with somebody. This is your person, but don't hold back. Now, if you are single, it doesn't mean nobody's going to come into your life. But if you're not getting yourself up and picking yourself up, because remember, this attitude here is, if you're just bored and stuck and grabbing at anything, it's not going to bring fulfillment to you. You really do have to be in a place of connecting with people who really connect with you on a deeper level. Because the superficial shit's only going to work for casual relationships. It's not going to work for these moments when you feel unseen or not supported. You want emotional depth, and that's what it feels like this month is about expressing. So life in general and career, I see the Four of Pentacles. It looks like you're still building upon something. This could be a month where you are getting smarter with your money, you're saving. This could be you're making a little bit more money. You could invest in something. Or maybe it's just saying you're good, right? You're still where you're at and you're just putting the pieces together. So keep working at what you're doing. This card for money says you got what you need. Your needs will be taken care of when it comes to your money. So if you are struggling with money, this card is also saying let go a little bit, because your needs will be met. All right, having a lack mentality when it comes to money and your career, and trying to control the outcome or control everything, is going to give off a vibe that actually resists money from flowing into your life. All right. Now, there could be a connection with somebody. You could be building something with somebody. With the Four of Pentacles, you may be working together. You might even put together money and share expenses, and just find that you can actually do more with what you have. All right. So I am seeing money and career seems to be pretty stable. It looks like you're secure. You're feeling comfortable. You're feeling good. All right. And this is about finishing projects too, and working with what you got and finishing up, and not, you know, starting something and just letting it hang there. So you're really kind of finishing what needs to be done. All right. Any other good things? Remember, June 9th seems to be a really good day with the Cancer energy, and June 9th could be a really good day for you. I am seeing the Eight of Swords. Something that you've been sweating will finally be released. All right, something you've been afraid of, something you've been holding yourself back from, something that you've been uncertain about. It looks like you will have clarity around the biggest thing that's been worrying you around a mid-month, all right? What else is coming in? I see the Knight of Cups. So I am seeing romance growing, love growing. All right, this could be an invitation somewhere. This could be somebody approaching you, wanting to take you out. So for some of you who are single, this does show dating, and there is opportunities to date. But if you're not putting yourself out there, I can't do anything for you. It says there is love around you. Now, this may be somebody actually expressing their love to you. So if you are connected with somebody, they may announce to you that they really love you, that they want to really invest and commit and take this to the next level, because this is true love. This is your heart is just leading the way. All right, so anything else coming towards my Virgos, and I will look at the Aries to Pisces. I see the Two of Wands. So you are moving and grooving. So really this month is about whatever you've already got started. Just keep showing up. Just keep doing it. You could be connecting with somebody this week, partnering up with somebody, and actually traveling, going somewhere. But this confirms that you're on the right track. You already initiated something, a relationship, a job, something started, and you're showing you're taking the next step here in June. So let's look at Aries through Pisces and get a message for you with Aries through Pisces. I need to shake them up a little bit because the oracle ones are getting repetitive. All right, so think about the person you're connected to. Look at this. This is funny. I see pet. Some of you may need to, maybe you're getting a pet. Maybe that's bringing you closer. I got the Knight of Cups, leveling up in a relationship. All right, so some of you, I do see loyalty, companionship, and purity. That purity is what I was trying to say at the beginning of your reading, that no matter what you express this month, you're coming from a pure, loving space. You're speaking your truth. And so it's going to deepen your connection with somebody, okay? Now I'm seeing a pet, though. Maybe some of you do need to get a pet. I've been thinking about a cat again, right? Thinking about getting a cat. But a companionship is growing between you and another person. So with that being said, let's go through Aries through Pisces. Aries. All right. So I am seeing you guys are exploring a new direction with an Aries. All right. You need to step out. I'm going to read this. Explore opportunities beyond routine. Get out of the rut when it comes to your Aries. So no matter what kind of a relationship you're in with Aries, stop being stuck on the same thing. Whatever that means to you. If you keep bringing up, I do the same thing, but you keep bringing up the same thing, bringing up yesterday. We have 10,000, we have 70,000 thoughts. I think people change it all the time, a day. And we think the same thoughts every single day. Try and change the conversation. Try and change the direction. Go somewhere different. And this is a new starting point with you and an Aries. So you have a chance to take your relationship in a new direction with an Aries. Taurus, all right, roller skates. Maybe you're going roller skating with a Taurus, all right. I see happiness, and I see something unlocking happiness with you and a Taurus, all right. So if you have any kind of constraints or feel, like the relationship has been stagnant or something is happening or there's resistance with you and a Taurus, this is also trying something new, and something is going to change where you guys finally feel like you can loosen up in the relationship and it's moving again. Gemini, I see balance, ease, and flow. So rethink your reaction in times of emotional storms. All right, so with a Gemini, there's something about getting caught up in the moment with conversation and reacting emotionally. But it's about the timing for you when it comes to Gemini. Some of you are holding on to something and then having a conversation when Gemini has no clue it's coming. All right, so then you are just wrong place, wrong time, having a conversation when we just didn't read the room. So there is alignment happening with you and a Gemini, but it is asking you to rethink your approach, your reaction, and the timing when it comes to a Gemini. Cancer. I'm seeing growth happening with you and a Cancer, building more stability. So if you've already planted some seeds with a Cancer or you've already begun a relationship with a Cancer, they are blooming. And this is a relationship that can last, I was going to say a lifetime, but there's anything. I don't want to go that far. All right, Leo. All All right, the gym, maybe you guys need to change your routine with each other. Maybe you guys need to get in shape. Maybe you guys need to both figure out what we like in common. And sometimes if you're dealing with some pain, this is saying that if you are going through some sort of pain or separation or anything with a Leo, get yourself back together. Focus on yourself, because this is where the growth is going to happen. When your Leo starts to see you shine again, when the Leo starts to see you becoming yourself again and being happy again, guess what? That's when the look what the cat dragged in. Everybody always wants to come back when you're feeling good, you're looking good, right? But the good news is when you're feeling better, you make better decisions. So you have a choice of whether or not you want this person back or not. But if you take them back when you're depressed and not healthy, things don't change, right? And we go right back into the old pattern. Virgo, I'm seeing clarity, inspiration, and shine. So this is you and another Virgo, you guys guiding one another, and you guys will solve your mystery soon. So whatever is going on between the two of you, the light is about to shine. There is something going on. There is something growing. All right. So give it time. Let it work on its own. Libra, I am seeing focus. All right. So it really is, what do you really want with your Libra? Are you really focused on just your ego? Is this something you desire? Are you guys really in sync? Is this really truly what you want? Or just where is your focus? Because this card is, if you're focusing on being disappointed or expecting the worst, that is what's going to come with your Libra every single time you guys get together. So it is asking you to really think about, is this my person? Do we really vibe together? Scorpio, I'm seeing very present with you, one step at a time. All right. So distraction is the enemy of this relationship. And this is the Four of Cups. So it looks like you guys may get bored, stagnant, distracted, and you guys take it out on each other. So I'm seeing that you got to focus, you got to take your time. And when you get bored or stuck, it's just one step at a time here with your Scorpio, and things will work, right? You're still building something there. Sagittarius, I'm seeing immerse, release, and glow. Your burdens will soon lift with a Sagittarius. All right. But, this is a cleanse. This is getting yourself together, giving yourself a little time out. And I am seeing here that you guys will find yourself back together, or together if that's the case. But it is saying kind of relax and chill a little bit. Capricorn, there could be a moment Capricorn shows up for you unexpected. All right. It may change your plans. You may be thinking something's going one way, but there's something about wising up, right? So Capricorn could show up uninvited. Aquarius, I'm seeing very curious about you. All right. So you may have some challenges. Maybe you challenge them, but they still want to figure it out. So there could be a breakthrough with an Aquarius this month as well, too. You got their attention. And Pisces, I am seeing divided and on the fence. All right. So for both of you or one of you, your past hurts are keeping you both blocked from new possibilities. So one of you or both of you are still dealing with a past situation or past hurt that is, it may come up this month, and maybe we need to talk about it. All right. I love you guys. I'm enjoying them too, Lisa. Thank you. I was so ready to do Earth today. I'm telling you, I had the bull come in my dream. It has to be. And, I almost forgot that I do on Tuesdays. I almost forgot that I've been doing the element reads. And I was like, wait a minute. I forgot to do Earth so far. And I was like, we need to get Earth out there. So, yes, I'm glad you're enjoying them. All right, so we are moving on to my copies. All right, timestamp 43. Yeah, the chat moves slow, and I have been seeing that it does delete some of your messages. So just know, don't take it personal if your chats delete or if anything happens with the chat, because I've seen it now even with StreamYards. So don't take it personal if you feel like you're being ignored or blocked or you're not seeing your comments. All right, Capricorn, let's get this going. My Capricorns. All right, a new perspective. So something shifting in your life this month where you will be seeing things completely different. And I'm seeing stepping stones. So taking the next step and keeping things simple. I do see study and learning. So some of you could be taking on a new project, studying something new, taking on a new craft, maybe going back to school, maybe learning your partner, understanding your partner a little bit more, maybe learning where, you did settle or where you were getting caught up in a situation in the past and you held on too long or you worried about something too much. And it's all about observation this month, right? So some of you, there's some things coming around that are clearing up some situations for you, which it will be epiphanies for you. You'll be like, wow, I was really doing this, but now I'm understanding that things do work in the craziest ways. Things do work out and I don't have to control everything. I can trust. I can, whatever it is, there's a perspective shift. And so that means that there's growth happening for you when it comes to your life. So let's take a look. Remove these cards. Remember, June 9th is supposed to be one of the luckiest days. Please come back and let me know in the chat, on the comments, if that is correct, because I'm going to be looking out for it. And we have the new moon also coming in just after that. But that could be a big money day, Venus conjunct Jupiter, and, big love day, big money day. All right. So you have the strength card here at the bottom of the deck, right? So very attractive energy and people admiring you, and you're getting, this is, you're getting stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? And beautiful energy. So you're giving off a beautiful vibe. And some of you having the confidence to just step right back up no matter what's happened. And that's just what you got to do. It's like, I've learned to control myself. I've learned to, even if people make me mad, make me upset, it's like, I know I'm not going to let them screw with my inner world. It's all about patience and calmness for you. It's like you might be dealing with some challenges. Maybe you are dealing with people who have egos, or you have your own ego. But I do see here the strength card. You're pulling through here, and I am seeing a lot of admiration for you. So maybe somebody around you may say something to you like, man, you really picked yourself up and you really carried yourself through. And this could also be, there's just an energy about you, a presence about you that people just see, like, no matter what knocks you down, no matter what situation. This is what I love about you, Capricorn. I really do. Out of all the signs that I kind of deal with, I feel like Capricorns, even if no matter what happens, like you just don't care. You'll show right back up. I'm here. All right. I don't care. I don't even have to say it. I've just got this attitude. Like, you got the Leo heart. You got the lion heart. Even if you were uncomfortable with something, even if you felt like you did something wrong, even if you felt your pride in this kind of energy, it's not overly prideful. It's perfect. It just feels like, you know what, I'm going to show you who I really am. And that's how people get to know you. They know, they see your inner strength. They don't care about the character or the part that you have to portray or the wound you're in or the story you just got lost in. They really feel you, because I feel like there's just an authenticity with my Capricorns that you can't fake it, right? And you do have a stubbornness, right? But it's this energy that people are really drawn to you. So there's a lot of depth here, and maybe even relationships becoming more intimate because you just are just admired. People are attracted to this kind of strength, right? So it could be a Leo energy around you too. Some of you could have a lot of Leo placements. I'm seeing the Queen of Swords here. So you have been dealing with some discernment, and you've been dealing with some insights as well. And she's so grumpy. But some of you could be judging a lot of things, right? You could be looking at things differently right now, right? Why didn't I see that before? Why am I seeing it now? So, be mindful that this month I am seeing a new perspective with this Queen of Swords. Don't be too harsh on yourself, and don't be too harsh on others. Some of you may finally have this epiphany like, damn, what the hell was I thinking? It reminds me of one of my best friends that says, I can't wait for the day when you look at me and say, what the fuck was I thinking? All right. You could be having some of these moments, and they're the biggest growth moments. They're like, you know what? Have compassion for yourself. Have compassion for others. Sometimes we're a day late and a dollar short. Or you might be meeting people and you might be like, what the hell is this circus that I found myself in? Right. So you could be finding yourself in some of these situations as well. But I am getting observed, because obviously you might be entering circles or friendships or being in a new relationship. Maybe your relationship is starting to grow and somebody's getting more comfortable and you're like, who the fuck is this? This isn't the person that I thought I was in love with. But you know what? It does show me, though, that your person's not everything that you thought they were, but they could be so different that it actually intrigues you too. All right. So whenever we're in love or we're getting started and we have these stories about what we expect from a person, when the veil is lifted and when we see the person for who they really are, what a major moment. So this could be one of those moments for you when it comes to your life and love and intimate relationships. But I am seeing discernment is strong for you. So that means, it tells me that you will make the right decisions. And even if you see a part of somebody that you're like questionable, you'll know whether or not, if this is worth pursuing or not, right? Because you have the Queen of Swords here. This is also telling me, I think I already said this, but I'm going to say it again. A lot of your doubts and concerns about the past, or a lot of situations that you've gotten yourself into, I am seeing here, though, that you will be justified in some way. You don't have to, maybe in the past you wanted to be justified, but it wasn't the right time. I am seeing that some of these justifications are coming in for you. All right. So this could be a very relief type of month for you, just feeling like, damn, maybe I wasn't that bad. I was being so hard on myself, but it was what I thought, so good times. So love, let's look at love. 7 of Cups. So this is a good time with the astrology right now for you. It's generally one of the strongest times for love. Of course, I know this because I am progressed Capricorn in 3 placements, and I pay attention to this. But it does feel like this is a real strong time for you. So if something is real or someone is real in your life, you may be questioning some things. I can see you here being like, maybe check your expectations, right? Because they may, like I said, I don't have to go back there, but I am seeing that love is growing. So either love could be showing up for you, somebody you've been thinking about. You could be manifesting somebody in. It could surprise you. This could change your perspective too on manifesting. You might be like, wow, it really works. I was thinking about this person and here they are. But if you're partnered with somebody, watch out for definitely check your expectations. Am I wishfully thinking? Am I trying to make somebody something they're not? Am I trying to make this better than it is or more than it is? Do I need to step back a little bit? Or maybe some of you really are in love and you guys are just becoming a little bit more consistent, and both of you are starting to daydream more about the future. Because this card is one of the most beautiful cards I get in couple readings, where it's like 2 people really are thinking about the same thing, whether you speak it out loud or not. You both, when you're in your heads, imagine in 2 years from now, you're still with each other in some way. You're talking to each other and you're co-creating with each other. All right. So also pay attention to who's consistent with you this month, because being that it's a really good month for you for love, this is where you'll be checking and using discernment over who's really, is this an illusion? Is this like, come on, is this that you're settling? Is there better out there? Is there more out there? So of course, there's going to be some realness here with the Queen of Swords. And I don't feel like you really have to try too hard when it comes to love if you're in a relationship. It feels like somebody here is really thinking about you and does see the potential and possibilities of this relationship growing. Now, your daily work and life and career, I see 8 of Pentacles, so moving and grooving. All right, so it looks like it's really, you could even be getting noticed, a promotion, something really clicking for you. You may find yourself pouring yourself into work more with the 8 of Pentacles. All right, things are getting better when it comes to work or something that you're really focused on. This could be even a major shift, a new job, a new doorway opening up, somebody noticing your skills. But I am seeing abundance. All right. So this is also finishing too what you start, completing your task, staying on point. Don't give up on something too soon. This is being, noticed for your skills. So you might get an income, increase, money for a job you did, getting paid more than you thought you would. All right. So a really good month for opportunities and growth when it comes to your daily grind. All right. Now, any other good days, good things coming in for you this month? And look, the 5 of Pentacles. So something you are struggling with, if you have any financial or health issues, those things are turning around for you. You will find solutions here. You can see here that this is an improvement when it comes to that status, especially if it's your health. If you've been struggling with certain things, looks like there's a turnaround there. And I'm seeing the 4 of Cups. If some of you have been stuck or stagnant or feeling unhappy and connected or discontent, you can see that there's opportunities to turn that around too. All right. You have options, you have availabilities, you have love. But if you're getting stuck on a saying, there's nothing there for me, there's nobody there, or you keep going back to a past person because they're comfortable and you don't want to be uncomfortable being single or stagnant or trying to date somebody new, you're the only reason why you could block any income and new love right now, because everybody's coming out of their houses during the spring and this time of the year. Now, if some of you are in winter, everybody snuggles during the winter. Everybody wants a snuggle buddy, right? So it feels like it's a win-win either way. All right. So this is a good time to turn those frowns upside down. And I am seeing the Star card come in for you. So this is a card of wishes coming true. All right. This is a card that you're going to start seeing the light, seeing the pathway, seeing things start to come into alignment. Maybe you're able to focus on other areas of your life because you're feeling more content with what's happening. I see you making future plans, maybe by the end of June or all through June. This is you and a partner finally discussing what it looks like in the future with the 7 of Cups. This is also an instant manifestation card. So it could be that you're on point and what you ask for, you get. So make sure you're making lists of what it is you want, and what you desire desires you. So you have a beautiful energy showing up of seeing the light and seeing something come to fruition for you. Now, with relationships, Aries through Pisces, think about the person that's on your mind, and let's take a look at what is coming through. You have Aquarius showing up, a Libra, and a Gemini showing up for you. You have earth, air, and water with no fire showing up just yet, right? So it feels like things are settling in and chilling out. Things are actually, grounding in. Fire is, the excitement, the passion, and everything just going really fast, and everything can be, overwhelming, but it can be short-lived. It feels like the fire's already happened. And these are the elements that are starting to ground in, and things are actually starting to form a picture for you, especially if you're in a relationship or talking to somebody. This can bring money, fame for you as well with the 8 of Pentacles and the Star card. I always try to bring out some good nuggets like that. But this can bring some of you who have an audience like moi and all this other good stuff, and you guys work. This is showing money, value, maybe enhancing your aesthetics. People think you look great, you stand out, So a very good card here of being seen. Aries through Pisces. All right. Look at the seasoning at the bottom of the deck. I always like to look at this because it can give me kind of a theme throughout. But balance, effort, reward. It's like the season, you're adding the seasonings right now to something that's already building. All right. Sending love to you, Lisa. You know, I said that because even I've been going through some stuff too. And it's like there's a shift, there's a change. And so I'm sending you lots of love. All right. I'm seeing your effort is being rewarded this month when it comes to the person on your mind. Right. Now, remember, if you're dealing with somebody that you know it's done, or you just keep going back to somebody that's comfortable, not all these messages are going to resonate with you. All right. We're looking for, at this point, alignment. Right. So I am seeing that whatever's going on in your love relationships, things are kind of coming into a balance, or, you know, you're seeing things, you're feeling more satisfied with the situation. Aries. All right. So if you've been going back and forth with an Aries, it feels like that's going to start settling in. And it feels like maybe it'll become more consistent with you and an Aries. If it's been stuck back and forth too much and you're just over it, I feel like some of you may finally let go. If fear has been keeping you attached to this person, you may decide that it's just not enough, right? But I do see for some of you that it looks like it could start to ease up. Taurus, all right, I'm seeing a lot about social media and watching out for social media. They could be responding to you through social media, watching your social media, comparing. There could be a movement. You could be talking to somebody more through social media with Taurus. All right. Now, I am seeing comparison and pain. So being careful not to read into too much when it comes to a Taurus. Maybe they are trying to make you jealous, who knows? Or maybe they get jealous over your social media. So there is something about that. Some of you need to hear that. I don't know what else to say about that. Just don't let social media get in the way of your relationship if it's healthy. Gemini, exploring a new direction with a Gemini. All right, there's an opportunity coming in that's going to change everything, change your routine, shake things up. All right, so there could be a huge shift, you know, trying something new and a new start coming. Cancer, I see the Rubik's Cube, all right? So diversity, perspective, and understanding. Viewing problems from a different perspective and understanding will deepen your connection. All right, so you and Cancer may be struggling, but you guys are finding a way to work through your problems that you are dealing with, or any kind of misunderstanding. Leo, timing, efficiency, and results. The timing is right. So things are going to move pretty quick between you and a Leo. It seems like this month is perfect for you guys to advance or take advantage of the opportunities that are coming your way. Virgo, all right, there's the countdown. All right, choose wisely, because this month it looks like, you know, there's a lot happening. You could end up with a Virgo. You could, you know, with this card, you know, just make sure, be happy with what you wish for. Be careful with what you wish for, because I do see that the time is coming in and you may be making some big decision with the Virgo. Libra, all right, release, restart, and renew. All right, this one can be a little bit harsh, but your hands can't hold new gifts while gripping old trash. So if you're holding on to somebody or something else and you're wanting it to work with a Libra, it's saying release the past and let the new come in. If you're dealing with a Libra and you know it's just nothing is working, this is saying release, give yourself a fresh start. Scorpio, I'm seeing a pet. Maybe it's time to buy a pet with a Scorpio. They're very loyal to you. They'll be by your side more. All right. They seem to want something to grow with you. And they're very loyal to you, very dedicated to you. Or this month you'll start to notice that they'll be showing up more for you. Sagittarius, all right. Flush away any unnecessary chaos or drama between the two of you. Are you letting outside influences mess with the relationship? You know, focus on the two of you and give yourself a restart. All right. Maybe there's other interactions that you're having with other people, or the interactions that you're having just need to be cleaned up a little bit. When it comes to a Sagittarius, change the direction. Capricorn, I'm seeing renewal, clarity, and space being made for you guys to sweep away what no longer serves you and make room for new blessings to enter. This is what I have for your Capricorn. So it looks like a renewal between you and Capricorn. Aquarius, all right, I'm seeing insight and transformation. Change is happening and things are about to accelerate between you and an Aquarius. Lean into any discomfort to discover potential. So you got to face the issues that are coming up in order to make the change. And Pisces, clarity coming in with a Pisces, time to shine. All right, you guys seem to both want something from each other, and that clarity will come out in June. I love you. Can we have the other deck? Look, you think about the person that's on your mind. I'll pull one card and see what I get. All right, I'll do that for you. And then I'll see you in membership. Think about the person that's on your mind. I'll use this deck. All right. Your spirit blooms anew each time life challenges you. And this is what draws people to you. And this here, my Capricorns, is exactly what I said with the Strength card. So you are attractive, and you are every time you pick yourself back up, every time you evolve, every time you change, every time you observe, every time you grow, somebody is more drawn to you. And that is your power. That is your power. So always trust in your own power. All right. And somebody admires you. I love you guys. A lot of blooming. That's been coming through a lot for the earth signs. So it's the earth signs. If you guys notice, no matter how much I shuffle, it's been coming out even in the collective for the earth signs. So you just keep doing you. I love you guys. I'll see you in membership. Have a nice day, Mr. Mark. And Gigi, Angel, Lisa, thank you for modding. Thank you for being here. See you later, everybody.